There's a kind of silence you earn. Not the awkward kind you get in waiting rooms or elevators, but the good kind, the kind that comes with peace. The kind that wraps around you at sunrise on an empty beach, when the ocean hums like it's singing just for you, and all you hear is the hush of waves and gulls far off, and the breeze coming off the water brushing against your skin. That silence. I bled for it, fought for it, waited for it, and just when I thought I had finally claimed it, someone came and set fire to everything. I'm not talking in metaphors. My name's Clay Reynolds. I spent 20 years in the Navy, then built a boat fabrication business from the ground up, late nights, busted knuckles, missed birthdays. I wasn't born with money. I didn't marry into it. I clawed my way to every dime. So when I finally bought that cottage in Seabreeze Point, North Carolina, tucked back behind the dunes with a dock that reached just far enough to tie off my boat, it felt like exhaling after holding my breath for decades. It wasn't big. Just 2 bedrooms, floor-to-ceiling glass, a wide porch. But it was mine. No HOA, no nosy board, no rules about mailbox colors. Just deed, dirt, and dignity. I installed cameras, safes, a fortress of insurance clauses. Not because I was paranoid, but because I had worked too damn hard to be stupid. I didn't party, didn't throw wild ragers, just some weekends with buddies, barbecues, maybe jazz playing low on the speakers. But apparently, even that was too much for the guy next door. His name was Martin Dorsey. Looked like he'd been dipped in resentment and left out to dry. Wore the same oil-stained flannel year-round. And his housey, if you could call it, that looked like a hurricane, gave up halfway through. I tried to be polite at first. Offered him a beer the day I moved in. He asked how much my truck cost, like that was some kind of insult. After that, it was downhill. Snide remarks about my boat, about some people, VYing too much. One time he filed a noise complaint over a birthday dinner's even people, low-volume jazz. The town clerk actually laughed when she called me. Still, I let it go. Figured the man was lonely, bitter, maybe both. Then, 1 week before everything went up in flames, he looked at me as I was unloading groceries and muttered, just loud enough to hear, "All it takes is one spark." I chalked it up to another metaphor from a bitter man. But now I know better. I pulled up to my cottage that Saturday morning and knew something was wrong before I even opened the door. The sky looked wrong. The air smelled wrong, like plastic and salt and something final. Then I saw it. My house. My piece. Black skeletons of beams rising from a crater of ash. The dock sagged like a broken limb. Windows gone. Police tape whipping in the wind. A fireman in turnout gear saw me coming and stepped forward. "You the owner?" he asked. I nodded. My throat locked up when I said my name. He said the blaze started after midnight. Wind off the ocean fed the fire. By the time a neighbor called it in, the place was already gone. I asked if it was electrical. He shook his head, said the power had been shut off before it started. They found traces of accelerant. Gasoline. My knees went weak. They didn't say arson outright, but we both knew. Someone did this. On purpose. I stood there in the remains, the heat still rising from the rubble. My fists clenched. My mind raced. And somewhere in the ash, I found a melted hunk of brass. My old Navy compass. The one they gave me at retirement. Half the inscription still readable. Honor the course. That's when something inside me hardened. No more waiting. No more giving the benefit of the doubt. Whoever did this didn't just destroy a house, they tried to erase everything I built. That night, I drove straight to the sheriff's office with the SD card from the surviving outdoor cam. Slammed it on the desk and said, "You're gonna want to see this." They pulled the footage. It showed a hooded figure creeping over the fence, dousing the back deck. Then a match. Then light. And in the distance, just beyond the flames, standing still as stone, Martin Dorsey. On his porch. Watching. Not moving. Not calling for help. Just watching. They brought him in the next day. He didn't flinch. Sat in the interrogation room like he was waiting for coffee. When they showed him the footage, he shrugged and said, didn't seem like my business. Then he muttered something about balance, about justice. Said, that man built boats for rich assholes. I built floors no one sees. Turns out that was just the beginning. The warrant on his house turned up a gas can, work gloves soaked in residue, and a laptop filled with searches like how to burn a house undetected. But the worst part was the document. They found a diary hidden in a folder labeled tax receipts. It was a manifesto. 2 years of bile about the world, about wealth, about people like me. He named me more than once. Called me a symbol of rot. Said I needed to be purged. And just when I thought it couldn't get worse, I got a note. Slid under my coffee cup at a diner. Some fires burn twice. Next time it won't be the house. No signature. Just that. 2 days later, a dead seagull was nailed to the gate of my company dock. No one saw who did it. But I knew. Even behind bars, Martin was reaching out. That's when I stopped playing defense. Doubled my security. Told my team to watch their backs. And I started training again, old habits from SARE VYC days. Because something told me this wasn't over. I was right. One evening, after a boxing session, I got jumped. 3 guys in a parking lot. One swung a pipe. Another had a knife. They weren't professionals, just desperate. I fought them off. Barely. Cops came quick. Security footage helped. 2 of the guys confessed. Said they were paid. The burner phone used for contact was traced to a prepaid drop. Less than a mile from Martin's old property. Even locked up, he was trying to finish the job. That was all the judge needed. When we went to trial, the courtroom was packed. News vans outside. Vets from the community came in support. The DA laid it out, clean footage, EVY Denke, witness testimony. And when Martin heard the sentence, 25 years, full restitution, banned from ever owning land in the county, didn't flinch. Didn't say a word. I rebuilt. Took almost a year. Stronger this time. Reinforced, fireproofed, armored with tech. Same footprint. Same VYEW. But different energy. I planted a bronze plaque by the dock. It says, if they say you don't deserve it, let them try and earn it instead. The first night back, I threw a small party. Vets, neighbors, people who stuck by me. There was music, ribs, laughter echoing across the water. The kind of sound Martin used to hate. A kid came up to me, maybe 12. Looked at the house, then at the plaque, then at me. You really built it all back? He asked. After everything? I nodded. Piece by piece. Weren't you scared? I smiled, soft and honest. Sure. But I've been scared before. This was just another storm. And as the sun dropped behind the dunes, I stood there. Same sea, same wind, same silence. Only now, it sounded stronger. Louder. Like it was mine again. They tried to burn me down. But all they did was give me a reason to rise twice as strong. If this story made you feel something, if it reminded you that peace must be protected and dignity can't be stolen, drop your thoughts in the comments. What does Sayusaw think justice looks like? What would Sayusaw have done in my place? Let's talk about it. And if you've ever had to stand up for something you built from nothing, subscribe. You belong here.